AI agent will eat SAS for breakfast. When Mr. Satya Nadella said this, it sent a shock wave to the tech fraternity, isn't it? Coming it from the visionary leader from the SAS empire, it was not just a warning, but a wake-up call to take the data very seriously. So, since I have your attention, allow me to introduce myself. Hi, hello everyone. I am Amitesh Bharti, Associate Director of Engineering at mPokket. Nearly a decade and half years of experience, approximately. Now, you must be curious what we do and how we do. But before that, I would like to know how many of you have ever heard mPokket earlier? Please raise your hand. Oh, thanks, but very less. But I would take it as a positive, you know. I'll say we are doing good job. Why? Because you premium folks are not at all our focused user segment. With that, now you're curious, right? So mPokket is basically RBI regulated fintech. And we are into purely lending business. But how we do differently? Our focus is to empower the youth of India, especially those youth who have not even started their credit journey. And they don't have formal banks or fintech or financial institution lined up to help them in their financial empowerment. So with the help of our app, they can build their credit journey, credit footprints, and we all know how much that is important in the latter part of the life. Mr. Gaurav Jalan, he's our CEO and founder, and I would highly recommend you to follow him on LinkedIn. Why? To get financial insights, updates, and I find it quite insightful. So we have 20 million plus active customer, and you can get instant loan. And like I said, and it happens in a couple of minutes. So everything is automated, everything is paperless. Now, in my 3 years of stint with Microsoft, I'm in mPokket, I have seen it growing at least at 8 to 10x. Almost every vertical of business is growing. It's achieving what it is aimed for. I have seen it growing, its disbursal, its repayment, its user acquisition, and moreover everything. But we all know that since business is happy, what we get it, what the tech folks get it. Imagine when millions of customers, they are using your system in the peak hours at the same time. You started getting latency, right? Your system stability takes hit. And at the same time, business also wants to do so much experiments. They want to do personalizations, customizations, so many A/B testings and all. That also in your standard database systems, which definitely hits productivity, efficiency of the system. And that is where we have opportunity as a tech team to solve that problem and enable our business to operate at speed, scalability, and with the same performance that they were getting earlier. Now, how Aerospike is basically helping us here. We all know that. I think from the previous session, we are now well learned Aerospike is hybrid. It is having hybrid architecture where traditional DRAM plus the flash storage, it is powering, it is doing magic, right? Because the matrix it gives and the promises it has, which is hard to believe. It was truly for me. Sub-milliseconds of giving response in sub-milliseconds. At the same time, running tens of millions of query concurrently. It was mind-boggling for me initially. And that also at the petabyte scale of data. So that is where we started exploring last year. I think it's been 1.5 years nearly, Aerospike, especially for a couple of use cases. And where we wanted to leverage initially. We wanted to leverage it especially for the customer personalizations and segmentations to serve our customer for their need only. We wanted to use some solution especially for customer 360-degree views so that we can enable our business to coordinate with them, lead them, guide them at every footprint of the customer workflow. And there are so many more. So let's start getting into one by one. So our immediate need was to have a dynamic segmentation system because we were having very high number of active customer and business wanted to generate so many segmentations, thousands of segmentation at a very low latency, and then they wanted to have their own KPIs, and that also they wanted to do along with our day-to-day business. So that is where Aerospike helps us to generate thousands of segmentation at a very low latency, that also with dynamic data, and eventually the business is utilizing it for their campaigns, for their lead conversion, and definitely it is doing well and serving the purpose. Definitely, we all understand, right? One solution doesn't fit for everyone, so that is where one kind of campaign, one kind of strategy is not helping for all customer everyday basis. And we understand that, we have data, but at the same time, customer also has upper hand over us because we have competition and they have so many options. If we are not serving them well, if we are not serving them for their need, they may leave us at our eyes blink. Now, next use case where our immediate need was to have a comprehensive view of the user data available 24/7, because our operation team is heavily dependent. In the fintech, we understand we have our own share of overdue user, and at the same time, at every funnel of the user journey, we have a business team interacting with customer. So they need personalized view where they understand customer and they talk to them, they guide them, lead them in a most efficient way without annoying them. So we understand these days data is cheap, right? Internet is almost free in India. In every day, at per rupees, you get unlimited bandwidth, unlimited internet, thanks to Jio. It started. So customer footprint is everywhere. All business are doing is to capturing them, right? So there are tremendous streams of data flowing inside, and then we are doing data enrichment. So if we consolidate all those data and have it at one place, there the magic happens for business. So the need was there to have a unification from all these data streams and have this comprehensive view. And that is where Aerospike is helping us in order to ingest from thousands of streams at a minimum latency, and at the same times, it is also serving to other services in the sub-milliseconds without adding any extra latencies. And which is directly impacting business in terms of, we can see that they are able to serve customer in a most personalized way, and that definitely we are living up to customers' expectations, because our Google Play review is also quite decent. Third use case, fraud detection. Fintech is heavily RBI regulated industry. So we all understand we have to be compliant with RBI. And fraud, we all understand, it's not only specific to fintech, it's related to every industry. I just remember one of the incident from past where a Germany-based company, and they reported nearly 2 billion euro of fraud, and then eventually that company, the CX, long story short, the CXOs were behind the bar, and the company eventually had to shut down. So this is the gravity of fraud. So in mPokket also we have a robust fraud detection mechanism, but it's moreover reactive. It's moreover in the downstream system. Our idea was, can we have it a little bit more towards customer, where the event source, where event is happening, shift left strategy, we wanted to have it. So that is where Aerospike is helping us to, with the help of our own rule engine, and then streaming the thousands of real-time events, scoring it, and that also we are exploring to integrate it with ML pipelines and all. But our vision is to have fraud detection as early as possible and have it proactive instead of being reactive. That is how we can safeguard our customers' assets and enhancing trust in the financial system. And definitely trust is precious. Now let's talk about overall mPocket's tech framework. So we are quite a robust and resilient tech company, and we have hundreds of microservices and so many databases. And definitely managing many databases is also very difficult for DBA, and DBA will agree. So Aerospike, the best thing I like about Aerospike is it serves so many use cases. You can use it as a cache. You can, for read-heavy system, for write-heavy system, for scaling like a DynamoDB. I mean, you can utilize, depends upon use cases. So that is where I think the magic of Aerospike is, and we are also exploring using it for many use cases, and I think in the future going to use it for many use cases as well, because it's quite high performant and latency is quite low. That's what business is needing. Now, overall Aerospike implementation result, right? So definitely it's a very good experience for us, for the business, and definitely it's a transforming our performance. We are able to, we have significantly increased our uptime. Incident rate has been reduced drastically, and definitely overall we are able to run millions of queries at a large scale of data, even without seeing much of the difference, which is in terms of negative metrics and all those guardrails. We are quite happy that things are like it is living up to the expectations so far. So I think the future of Aerospike with mPokket is quite promising, I'll say. And with this, I would like to say that the support team of Aerospike is also quite good, very responsive. They're ready to help us in order to do any kind of POCs, and in case of any challenges, they're there for us, which is tremendous in my opinion. mPokket journey roadmap. So it's moreover towards Aerospike, it shows. And I think, yeah, we have integrated Aerospike quite late in the mPokket journey, but I think it's in the right time, because business is looking for scale. Our user base is growing. Our product portfolio is also increasing. So I think it's the right time. And then I think Aerospike is at the center of our database strategy, and we are going to use it for we are using it and going to use it for many and many things. Now, before I end, I would like to add a quote. Good decision requires experience, but at the same time, to build experience, you need to take decision. So keep doing innovation, keep exploring new stuffs, and keep sharing with folks. So with this, I would like to take any question if you have. Okay, it was, I think, if no question, then yeah, it was nice talking with you all. Thank you so much.